Sounds good to me. This is special. This is a special stream setup. I think this is the best a stream has ever been set up. I like the innovation of me being able to annoy people with this cursor. That's content. This is content. Oh, beautiful.
Bring us up over here. There we go. Now they can see us. There you go. Hello, everyone. If y'all don't know who I am, Rob Barefoot here. James Hutt here, Mayor of Balancetown. And if this is the first time you've come to one of these, this has been a while since this has been done. This is what we call a mayor's desk. James is going to be here answering your questions and things like that. I'm going to be moderating. If y'all act up, well, if y'all have seen where we come from in the Discord, you know exactly what I'll do to you. Huh? But yeah, go ahead and say hey, James. Let them at least have a little chit-chat while I'm shouting everything out here. This may get a little busy.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? It's James Hutt here, Mayor of Balancetown. I'm Artel Sorian's senior designer. Do most of my work on the Cyberpunk line, where I'm systems designer. And I also work on some other lines. Notably, I run 5xI for the company. And that's currently working on a game called Fossilized Violence, which is going to be really fun. It's about cavemen fighting dinosaurs. You get to be cavemen and you get to fight dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs get to be as powerful as they should be because they're dinosaurs, for gosh sakes. It's a very lethal game. We've been showing it off at some shows, and we're working on doing the last bits to make it come into the world. Got some very exciting things on there, but this is the first mayor's desk, actually. So I'm going to be excited to see how this goes. I think some of this is going to be thrown up on YouTube Shorts later.
Whenever I can abridge it down.
We'll see how that ends up happening. So best behavior, yeah.
I've intentionally hid the chat from the overlay. They may be all in here talking like crazy, but no, I don't trust y'all with this one. You can't see him?
I can't see a lot. I can't see a lot going on right now. We've solved this issue in a very interesting way that has led to this visual bug.
You are going to annoy
I don't know what this is. I don't know how to get rid of the pointer on this part, but it's here.
You're just gonna trigger the heck out of people.
No. I'm gonna push it to the side, but if I need to look at something on my screen, it might have to come back.
So I keep saying it's gonna bug y'all, but no, it bugs me. That's the thing. It bugs me seeing it. I want to get rid of it because I keep thinking it's my cursor. And if y'all wonder why I keep looking up here, it's because James's camera is up there on my high monitor. So I'm just looking up at this man. So it's gonna be awkward angles up and left. Not a bug, it's a feature. No, it's a bug.
That's in the screen. That should go somewhere else. Yeah. I guess before we get started, if anyone's not on my newsletter, James Hutt Games at jameshuttgames.com. That's a great way to keep track of everything I do that isn't Talsorian. I got some games over there that are being worked on, and you can follow them in active development. And I do a couple every couple of months, sometimes every month. We get I shadow drop games there. I'm just working on for fun. So if you want to get the new stuff for free, more new stuff for free than you already get with my stuff through Tal, you can do it there. We got some questions, don't we?
It's more than some. It's more than some.
Ready to start?
Yeah, we can start. I'm going to go right off the first one with the top one we got. The very first one actually was a good one.
I see this says, do armor penalties apply to the reroll granted by CEMK improved smart ammo / weapons? Is that it?
That's the one from J. Jonah J. Lo.
All right. So I love that name.
That's a great name. That's another reason why I picked it.
Why don't you read the questions so that way they're better for content?
Okay. let's not worry about content. Let's worry about content.
We're not worrying about content?
Don't worry about
I'm
content.
I'm asking you about content style questions because you're the content guy.
I am a guy who somehow holds things together. But no, so
Okay.
straightforward question. Here we go. First one from J. Jonah J-Lo. Do armor penalties apply to the reroll granted by the Cyberpunk Edgerunners mission kit improved smart ammo/weapons?
Okay, I don't have the rule in front of me, but what I believe that rule is the second hit rolls off of it gets a second chance to hit, and it uses its own base attack. That is the attack of the bullet itself, and not you. So you're right. Armor penalties should not apply to that because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I've actually.
That is one of those CEMK rules that are specifically tuned toward a jumpstart kit experience. And more clarity will be present in those type of rules in the future because we already know what we're doing in the future. I just can't talk about it right now.
Yeah, you better not talk about it. I'm here.
No,
I'm here to stop it. Yeah, good. No one's saying a thing.
With what seniority?
I will run across this nation and kick you. Yeah. I mean, even looking at the rule itself now, yeah, that's dead on with it. I quick grab for a reason. But no, solid ruling.
Right.
Yeah, it does not apply when it comes to it. You're set.
So sometimes I've said this. I believe I mentioned this in an interview a while back. I got clowned on a little bit for it, but common sense is a better rule than I could ever write. If you can write a rule that's better than common sense, man, you're good. Man, you're good.
That's a really good one. I'm stealing that.
But not me. But that's not me.
All right, so you ready for the next one? Because I know we were thinking about only 3, but we could do this for as long as we want to. There's a lot.
Let's roll it. Let's
okay.
Keep going.
Next one's from Inferno. Inferno X. So they say, hey James, is the existence of the Timewarp drug in Hornet's pharmacy meant to be an update for the Sandevistan, meaning that it can change one's position after initiative is rolled?
No, it's not meant to be a Sandevistan update. It's meant to play in the same space as Sandevistan, but it's not meant to directly like update it. So technically no, but it also plays in the same world. 2. Hornet's Pharmacy is really good, and it's meant to kind of make the make a lot of the like temporary stuff that costs money, potions.
Don't say that word.
A little bit more like interesting for players, because I mean, if you've played a video game and you beat the final boss and you look in your inventory and there are 3,000 undrank health potions, that's a problem that we don't want to have. So we try to make them good so people want them.
And they also have a second follow-up question to that. This one's a very open one. What's the best way to make heavy armor more appealing for players? Inferno tends to like to crunch the numbers and try to make heavier armor work. So I think that's where this question's coming from. I've seen Inferno's
tech upgrade it.
Tech upgrade.
That would be tech upgrade it. So all the math in Cyberpunk is something that people, and I'm sure Inferno knows this. So this is not me referring to them. But a lot of the numbers are intentionally like one click away from what would be an optimal outcome. And that's just a deliberate decision to let you finish the last click by getting it tech upgraded. Essentially, everything you're looking at when you're looking through Black Chrome is an unfinished weapon in terms of power level. And if you click it up, like you lower the move penalty, you lower the penalty in general, the armor penalty. Sorry, can y'all hear that? There is a...
Kinda.
There's a fire
Barely.
truck.
Barely.
Barely?
Yeah, that new mic software is working wonders.
Hey.
I told you it was good.
appreciate the update. Anyway, yeah, everything's one little space away from what would be an optimal outcome that you might want, and this is so that you can tech upgrade it, because that's meant to be a part of the world, and we had to make that good, so we had to bake it in, and that's where it's baked in. So most of those armor penalties could go down by 1, and you could be okay. And heavy armor gets kind of good when you lower those penalties.
For me, I enjoy messing around with heavy. Anything heavy. Metal Gear, I've actually made... Why'd you bring that thing?
I have to scroll it down. It doesn't work. Go away.
It better go away. It better stay hidden over there. Anytime I see it, my eye twitches. Oh, I wish I could have fixed that in time. Well, next one's from Utrza. I'm not going to pronounce that name right. I will fail it each time. I'll put it up on screen whenever I'm doing the editing.
Fatuza.
Yeah, Fatuza. There you go. Hey, James, what mechanic in Red are you primarily responsible for, and which are you most proud of?
In terms of Red, it's critical injuries. A lot of the math tightening and whatnot isn't like a single thing you can call out to. Stripping and then rebuilding it out of its constituent parts, that's fun and all, but that's not a good answer to a question. The one sexy answer for me has always been critical injuries. I just think that's a better way of doing that mechanic than and how it interacts with wound states. When you get one, you're likely to be in the other, but it's not necessary. Instead of coupling them, which would have made them feel like one thing, one of them feels like I've been worn down, and the other one feels like I have a single big problem. I like those two. I like them better than critical hit damage. They kind of also are critical hit damage because that bonus damage on them. But that's the answer. Yeah.
Adding on to that, how fun was it knowing that critical injuries are only going to get worse now that we've added power weapons in with the mission kit?
The mission kit has some exciting power weapons are really good, just at generally being a weapon, and they have to compete with armor ignore, right? And smart. So they are kind of the warrior choice, or the wizard choice being smart, and then the rogue choice being tech.
I'm gonna have fun with tech myself. It's anything that destroys cover I've always been messing with.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. Ready for the next one? This is a
Oh yeah.
Alright, we got another really open one here. This is from New Wonder. If Netrunning rules were to be revised or expanded, what would be the first things on top of your mind that you would do?
Well, they already did get it revised and expanded. Well, they didn't get revised, they got expanded. In the DLC Midnight with the Upload, which has a lot of hardware improvements that just were too, expansive to put in the core book. I consider Midnight with the Upload to be a core DLC. And you should check that one out if you haven't. I would say more things that are in more interesting little rooms in the dungeons that you go into in net architectures. That would be a good place to start. I like the one roll, the easy roll down, because you still feel like you're doing a lot of things, but you never have to change that number that you're rolling all the time. So you're still going rather quickly. Bringing turn times down is the goal of the net running system, because Netrunner's turn, everybody gets pizza, is not a good outcome, and that's the number one boogeyman in expanding the rule set. Keeping it streamlined. And I guess that's by having them be cool rooms you can go into, and it's rule expansion that doesn't have to drag on normal turn times. That would be why. Anyway, cool idea.
Yeah,
Gonna have to do a lot of work in Netrunning in the future, of course. But that's fun too.
I'm happy no one has asked about deep diving. Seems to be the quintessential.
I just implied it. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's back.
I hate it. Here's a question. Actually,
I'm gonna unzoom the client.
Okay.
That way, I can get more text on the screen.
Okay.
That's too zoomed out.
I can't see what you say. Don't. You guys have to understand. We had a lot of tech issues going into this. We almost could not do it today just because James's laptop decided it didn't want to be a laptop. So we pulled this together last minute. So there is some jank happening, but if there was not jank, it would not be fun, in my opinion.
It decided it would like to job change to paperweight.
So I'm gonna actually toss one to you that's coming from the YouTube chat.
Okay.
I just saw
we're on YouTube chat too.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't understand how much I have to multitask during this, my man.
How many people are here?
Do you really want to know that answer?
Yeah, I'll give it to me.
Currently over 100.
Hey!
Yeah, that's the current number right now. And everybody, share this out if you want to. This, of course, are going to be up later. But if y'all at least want to get questions in, I did intend to have the questions presented in the middle, but enough things broke to where I'm just keeping this as is and adding it all in the center later. All right. So, in YouTube chat, speaking of critical injuries, this is why I wanted to bring it up because it was on topic. Are there any penalties to martial arts or grappling if you have a disabled hand or arm? I'll let you answer this one. I have my own response to it.
Disabled hand or arm. It depends. Are you trying to use the disabled hand or arm to grapple? Because that's definitely going to be a modifier. That's GM issue, not a global answer. But if you aren't, then your other hand is just fine, and I don't really think there should be much there.
When it boils down to it, I was going to say the same thing. That's modifier. At least a -4, in my opinion. If you're trying to grab or punch somebody with an arm that's already messed up, it's like you're smacking somebody in the face with a limp piece of meat or metal. It doesn't feel like it would really have the same efficiency if you're wanting to swing it that way. Now this one seems to be a little more specific. This is from Dacho, one of our playtesters too. What the hell, James?
So I didn't figure out how to fix the problem, but I did figure out how to make it worse.
I hate you. This is what I work with, y'all.
If this is funny, I think we're gonna keep this.
I don't think we could. I don't think we should. No, I could turn your camera off.
Oh,
You underestimate my power. Yeah, there you go. You better hide that damn thing. Yeah,
I can bring it back.
All right, so this is from Dacho. I can't focus. God damn you. I can't even cuss because we're on YouTube. Is the cheap Zonda Metrocar giving Initiative something that was foreseen? For 1,000 eddies, you can get a 2-person vehicle rather than a 1-person hoverboard. Is it meant to be as potentially powerful as it is? Can it ram like any other car? I remember when we made that thing.
It has a lot less HP, so you're not going to be able to ram as much as you might want to. $1,000 is a lot of money. What is it? 2-person vehicle rather than a 1-person hoverboard? Probably fine. I think you're okay if they want to crash a cheap car into something and have a good time. I think they should get to have their fun. Giving initiative. You mean getting in a car and starting the car, putting you top of the initiative queue? I mean, that's an action tax. I think it's okay. I don't think it's too bad. Shoot them.
Shoot them.
You know, there are ways to solve this problem. You can probably disable a Zonda Metrocar just by shooting it in a combat round. So if they're going, if they're going to the end where they're like, we're gonna armor our Zonda Metrocar and then we're gonna put a ram on it, then they've bought and paid for the experience they want. I don't see any problem with that.
And it's good.
In fact, that sounds kind of cool.
It's like an angry Them
And
bony.
ram a car into a building to rob it is something that happens a lot near me. So that seems realistic, actually.
Get that ahead of my head. Yeah, it sounds strong in a vacuum, but what may be happening around that car is really going to affect how efficient it's going to be. Sure, you'll get in the car. Sure, you'll turn the ignition and get to the top of the initiative. What's going to happen, though, before you get to your initiative when they hear a car start up? If I'm running a bunch of gonks and they see someone get in a car, they're going to want you to not get away because they're assuming you're going to try to run. So they're going to fill full of lead. And what's the Zonda again? Is it 15 SHP? CP? I have to double check. Very, very,
It's
very
It's
boomable.
intentionally lowered.
Yeah.
A lot of cars can be easily sort of disabled by shooting them, just if they don't have armor. And if you have an armored car, then you've sort of paid for that, and you should be able to probably get away. I mean, it's the action movie thing, right? How many times do they actually shoot the car and it doesn't get away?
I mean, you only really see.
I've seen a couple of times where a hero pulls out their gun and they blow the tires and then the villain can't get away, and then it's the end of the movie, but not really the end of the movie because that's.
I just started thinking about the beginning of RoboCop. They're point blank shooting, missing them, but then they hop out and blast the car to complete bits.
And if it's making you think about the beginning of RoboCop, then the system is doing a good job, frankly.
Yeah.
So I think that answers the question.
Just shoot it. Just shoot it. Just shoot it.
It's a bad answer.
It's a great answer.
There are
just
other ways
shoot
to
it.
deal with that.
No, just shoot it. I like this. All right. So
the three great answers of this: context, modifiers, and that's a GM concern.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry. That's what interlock is.
This one here has me a little confused. So Captain WizFizz, why was the slice and dice upgraded to 3d6 damage in the EMK? Is it more balanced in your opinion that way? Should we errata that in our home games? Did we have the slice and dice kit?
Don't remember. I think the slice and dice in the mid.
I think that's the Monowire.
Yeah. No, it got improved.
Oh.
And that is something in the 77 era that exists because of Lucy's signature weapon. It needs to be able to compete with the other stuff. And it did need a boost probably to be as effective. It's a more narrative stealth weapon in 45, but because of all the cool stuff that you can do with it in 2077, it was a necessary change in order to just show technological growth. So I would say technically not in 45, but yes in 77.
Yeah, that's. I think they're referring to the Monowire itself. By then, yeah, they're gone through some tech stuff to make it a little bit
It's
more.
It's a Monowire.
Yeah.
When the slice and dice turns into the Monowire, there's just a technological improvement that's happened. That's one of the really cool parts about Cyberpunk is that we get to have an alternate history Cyberpunk future that then gets multiple different eras. There are not a lot of IP that do that.
Get to have fun with our settings.
Yeah. We have to have fun with our settings, and we have to have our settings actually grow and not stagnate. Because it's more profitable to stagnate, but it's more fun to grow.
Hey, we have a sudden comment in the chat that just caught my eye. One of our viewers says, also Jay insisted on creating the Metrocar no matter what. He loves that little thing. Said person who shared this information with us is Jay. Jay has snuck into our chat. He's sitting back and watching. Hey, Jay. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're enjoying a vacation, my dude.
How you doing, Jay? Jay is off this week, so he shouldn't be here. Everyone tell him to leave.
I've failed at that. Let the man enjoy the antics.
Everybody in YouTube chat, just put, go away, Jay.
No, stay. No, I will fight you. I can press the button. I should make Jay a mod real quick.
Press the button and remove the content.
Right now, this place is just completely bot protected. I need to actually set some mods here. I need to remove that. We love you, Jay. All right.
We love you, Jay.
Oh, okay. I almost swore because this is actually a good one. You ready for a toughie? You ready for a toughie?
Don't get our YouTube channel destroyed.
Dude, we're not
Finally
monetized yet. I've not put the...
Look how barely this is working.
I know, this is great that it's barely working. I love this. This held together by duct tape and wishes.
Is it Coco? Oh,
so Cuckoo Kachoo. Okay. Does an FBC biopod get shut off when the Tarot the Fool, which shuts down all cyberware, is triggered? That is interesting.
You know what? That's it's so biopods are EMP protected in a way that that other things aren't, kind of. Tarot the Fool is meant to be like a sometimes things that you don't expect happen and they send you back to the beginning. So I think that's a GM answer, but I would say it depends. If it's a random hit on a player character and that is no way to have someone's story end, right? The other thing is technically it wouldn't be dead. Technically the brain would have enough sugar that probably by the time it turned the Tarot the Fool went back, then they would still be alive once the system came back online. So you can, I don't know, I guess if it happened at my table and it was on a player, I would get them into the room and say, okay, we do two things. We can have your system shut down and we can make this a more narrative thing. And maybe I'll give you something if you go through it and you survive. Or we can just switch it for another critical injury. We'll do it to you anyway. And we'll run it live. If it happens on an enemy FBC, this is an edge case on an edge case, I would just have them die.
Yeah, really cool.
Just because it's really cool, and the player, it comes up and the players are gonna go, oh my god, does this mean? And then they'll probably remember it all week and have a great time, and that's what games are for, right?
Like my view of it is this. Sure, the software, I mean, the biopod may shut down, but that doesn't mean the brain dies instantly. The brain is not a piece of cyberware, just the shell around it.
Yeah.
Gotta pray it gets turned back on, though.
It'll turn back on. The fool is a temporary effect.
But one thing about that I think it would expand to, I think this one would be, because they've asked two other interesting questions here, but a second one on that FBC one. Would that mean that the brain could still control the rest of the body? The biopod is shut down.
No. I think at that point you go, it's shut down, it's shut down.
Stunned.
Hard answers, maybe in a couple of years. Soft answers is, this is probably not going to happen to you. You're fine.
Next question from Kukuchu. If a neuroport can act as a net arch, can one plant viruses within it to act as traps for uninvited Netrunners?
You mean plant traps in your own Neuroport? Virusing yourself is a very interesting idea. Oh no, I think this is a bit. If it was cool, maybe. Are you going to be able to write your own programs inside your own head as a Netrunner? This is where you're giving people a 30, a legendary check. But it is an open-ended ability virus, so it's a discussion with your game master. So that's the third. It's one of the big three. This is a talk to your GM is the answer here.
Yeah. Because
also, you probably don't need it. You can in your net arc, you can put in you can install like a lot of password walls in your own net arc, and you can also put black ice in your own net arc. If all cyberware requires a neuroport, and you're also always there kind of as your own demon in your own head if you're a netrunner, which is sort of a downside because you can't leave, right? if all cyberware requires a neuroport in order to run 2077, what happens when it gets migrated? This is I can't answer more 2077.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
still being devved. It's still being devved, so it's best to not lock it in until we know for sure.
Now the third one is just about FPCs in 77, and that's like, let's not. Right, but the first two questions were lovely, and thank you very much.
They were actually pretty. They were niche questions, but good questions. Definitely, I have a feeling like one of those at least happened at a table, or at least someone's hoping it happens at a table and they're dealing with an NPC.
I think I remember them talking about that in the Discord too. They had a fun time doing that.
I want to say one thing here, and you can overrule me on this. Even though we're giving rulings here, we do not override your own GM. Your own GM's rulings are final.
No, of course not.
Your own GM's rules are final.
Your GM is welcome to disagree with me. I'm assuming that most of the people here that are asking these GM-focused questions about GMing are GMs themselves, or they're players trying to figure out what would happen if your GM is the boss of your table, and Interlock is much better when the GM takes that as their responsibility.
I hope you're ready for this next one, because it's one of your favorites that is asked a million times in the Discord. So let's actually just get it on our channel and get it over with. Mechanics question from Son of a Shepherd. If someone is able to bullet dodge, is there any situations where you can't bullet dodge? Being shot from a direction where you can't see, in a smoke grenade, late at night, etc., or can you always be able to bullet dodge? We answer this question a lot in the Discord, so it's at least good we get it on camera for once to be eternally marked here.
You can't dodge what you can't see. Can't dodge what you can't see. That's it. If you are obscured, like it's smoky, you might still be able to dodge, because that's not I can't see it. It's I have a minus something.
It's -4.
Also, if they can't see you, if they can see you and you can't see them, smoke isn't like total obscurement, like I'm inside a billowy cloud, all of video gamey-ness. It's the room is smoky now. It might be really smoky, but that's a -4, and a -4 is a lot. In a D10 game, that's a 40% differential. That's a lot. So it's really just I can't see it. I wasn't aware of it. Either of those two. There's only one thing. There's a tarot injury that makes you completely unaware about things, I believe, and that's when you lose both cyber eyes. Both eyes. I can't remember what it is. Saying it might be justice or something. That's the clarification, or like actually both my eyes have been gouged out, because it's not a crit injury that we want people to get, because it's not fun to play anymore when you don't have eyes. Nobody likes not having eyes.
No. No.
Nobody likes having their eyes gouged out. This is probably bad content for YouTube.
Don't worry, we're past that point. I already know there ain't a thing we can do about it. We're just going in. We're talking Cyberpunk. That's a mature theme. We're fine.
All right, let's talk Cyberpunk. Sounds
we
good.
are going to wind up on a list like we talk about, but I want to add on to that, because people are always going to ask this question following it, and I just want it on there. What do you do about dodging multiple bullets in a single round?
You just do it. Dodge multiple bullets. There's nothing in there says once a turn only. Does Neo have to answer that question? He's a Cyberpunk hero too. He's a Keanu Reeves.
You have
I think you just dodge him, man.
Eventually
you're gonna roll low. And if you're burning your luck to continuously roll high, you should be able to dodge as many bullets as you like.
Yeah, so
pay the cost. You get to be the boss.
See, for me,
how it works.
This is what I like doing. I like to do the whole, like, after the first one, they start getting penalties where they're not dodging 10 bullets within 3 seconds. I'll defer to you on this one now.
All right, yeah, you have fun with that.
See that grin on your face, sir. See that grin on your face.
That's a house rule, Rob. And you
Yeah,
should be allowed to make house rules in your own home games.
very true. It's all if the GM calls. All right, so we'll move on to the next one. Ready for something from Sinjak?
That doesn't fly on the mayor's desk.
We'll fight
I'll
you
bring it
and your
back.
big cursor. Don't you give me that L. I saw how I put an
I
L.
tried it.
Yeah, you see, I
Oh,
hate you.
shit.
I hate you.
That's mean.
I
That's
hate
mean.
you.
I'm not gonna
I
do
hate
that.
you. I'm gonna just
That's-
stream's over. Get the hell out.
I can't actually. It's when it bops. See, it just bops over things.
Yeah, I see it.
Where are we?
Don't poke your eye out. No, we're right now on Sinjak. This one actually is this is something that I do feel is a interesting one. It has to do with the mission kit as well, and it has to do with something from Midnight with the upload. So Sinjak asks, the Kirama Cyberdecks sidestep penalties for forced jackouts in Netrunning a net architecture. Does this affect Quickhacking in the CEMK as well? I.e., does the deck avoid penalties if forced out of another person's Neuroport?
I wonder if it's his non-program effect.
Oh.
I don't know, and I don't have the text in front of me. I will say the CEMK is a jumpstart kit style product. It is not really made to directly with existing red stuff in 100% capacity, and this is in edge case capacity. So whenever I had the decision to make the CEMK more playable for a new player, or make it completely compatible with an edge case from a DLC, you can figure out which one I chose. I wouldn't allow the penalty if forced out of another's Neuroport. If you're talking about the one where you can't go back, you probably shouldn't let them get around that, because then you have the like annoying mosquito you can't get out of your ear problem. And I don't think that's a good game state.
Because whenever we had Midnight with the Upload wrote, Quickhacking was, it wasn't taken into consideration back then.
It hadn't been written yet. It hadn't been written yet.
Yeah, I'm looking right now at the Kirama decks.
Because the anime wasn't even out yet.
Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Yeah, because right now, this is all they really say. I'll give you the shortest one. This is verbatim. It's Cyberdeck with 5 slots to install either programs or hardware. Any unsafe jackout is considered instead to be a safe jackout. In the terms of 45, that's good. But in terms of CEMK, it absolutely breaks the game. I would say you would have to, as a GM, say...
Somewhere in the core book, we distinguish program effects from non-program effects. And everybody's like, why did you talk about non-program effects? There should be included that's counted only with program effects. Non-program effects can still do that to you. That's the update text if you need to use it together. It still is meant to work on Giant and Deck Crash. That's what it's meant to be a defense against. And it's a pretty slick defense against those programs, and those programs suck if you get hit by them, and have sucked since 2020.
I just realized Midnight with the Upload released in May 2020. God.
Yeah. It's been a while, it's 2025 now.
All right. So, you ready for Mega Drive's question?
Yes.
Okay.
Mega Drive ready.
Mega Drive. If a Medtech loads the Airhypos, is he able to throw it to another crew member for them to use? I read it's about dosage and obviously a balance issue. Was wondering if there's any wiggle room. I'll let you go with this one. I got my thoughts on that one, but you make the call.
If you want to do that, there are ways to do it. It's just not using an Airhypo. An Airhypo needs to be targeted. It's a tool. The way you do that is using what's the name of the DLC? Hornet's Pharmacy. There are auto injectors that can do that. They have to be calibrated and loaded before they can do it. But that is that's how you do that. You don't use it. It's just an air-powered needle. So you still do need to find a vein and stuff like that. But if you have like a piece of cyberware that's already on your vein, then they could just load it. So the answer is no.
Pretty straightforward one.
Yeah.
This is
The answer is no, but here's how you do it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can't give you the answer that you're looking for, we'll give you an option.
I'll try.
Yeah. This one here's another easy one. It's from the REM DM. When a vehicle takes damage, for example, from TR4, how much damage does the occupant take? What's TR4 again?
TR4 is an explosive from Black Chrome.
Oh, okay. I remember it.
So if that one says the car explodes like a grenade, and a grenade goes off in the gas tank, and you get to put the grenade, and then who's in there, and then it's a grenade. If your car explodes like a grenade, it's like a grenade. If TR4 is the one that just does damage to the car, it doesn't say the car's gas tank explodes, then it just does damage to the car. So I don't know the text on that, and that one is, we want to just move on. But
okay.
RemDM can look at the text and figure out which answer is correct for that.
You got to be careful. I have the whole library to my right here. It fell on me today.
I know you got it. But the second I do anything on my screen, it comes out.
I can find it. No, today my bookshelf fell on me. Like it did the full timber and everything. It sucked.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a rough day with it, so I'm gonna get some use out of this before it kills me.
So I'm gonna send you a link to these things that you're supposed to use to anchor your shelving to the wall.
Yeah, speaking of that, I've
don't you live in a tornado-prone area?
Oh yeah, it's great.
What are you doing?
Simple.
You bolt that shit down.
If I have, I'm not gonna jinx myself. I'm not gonna even joke about tornadoes. No, I've currently got my bookshelf held in place by a lanyard from Gen Con 2024. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Here's one for cemetery. What?
Please buy our PDFs. We're our houses are falling apart.
Look, I exist to jury rig, okay? I don't. There's a lot. Okay, we're gonna move on. Cemetery has a question here.
Please help the game design.
I've had too much caffeine for this. From cemetery.
Me too. I had a yerba mate, and I think this ancient mushroom elixir.
I thought that was kombucha.
Not a sponsor yet. Is very caffeinated. It feels like.
Either that or you just
claims to be made with 100% pure love, but I doubt that. I doubt the 100% purity statement. I think it's like a 60% purity of the love. I can feel 40% wanting to make a profit off of a drink.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. There's a lot of things I have to say about that. All right, next question. Cemetery. Is the Hades multi-purpose assault shotgun a one-handed weapon? The item description doesn't say it is, but the chart at the end of Black Chrome says it is.
Always use the item description and not the chart at the back if the chart at the back is wrong. That happens a lot. We are sorry. That is likely a bug, which we should probably write down and get to eventually.
We got it wrote down. We can act on it. Let me see here, because I think
we'll get to that. Thank you.
I think I know which one that is.
Please don't make the Hades multi-purpose assault shotgun a one-handed weapon, by the way. For game balance, please don't do that.
Careful, I may just do that. I'm going to stop before I do something you're going to hate me
for. You need
to
tech upgrade it and maybe put it into pop-up. There is a pop-up shotgun, but that thing only has a couple of shots. If you put the assault shotgun in there, aye. You start to get into the what killed Johnny Silverhand territory.
Okay, yeah, point made.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, this is actually a fun little one. It's from Maya. Suppose we had two different Netrunners jacked into an architecture and fighting some gangers in meat space. They rolled different initiatives as expected. When do Black Ice and said architecture act? No,
okay, so yeah. When Black Ice discovers somebody, it goes to the top of initiative.
Yeah.
That's when it acts.
Yeah, there's not two different initiatives when it comes to Netrunning.
No, there's only one initiative queue. And when Black Ice is laying in wait and discovers you, it goes to the top. That's to give it the idea that it gets a reaction turn. That's a much faster way to write. It reacts immediately, because then the GM has to figure out and put it within the initiative queue. Slotting things within an initiative queue is how we get those like clipboards that has everybody's name on it that you might see on a D&D stream. Those are bad. I didn't want that. It just goes to the top.
Maya had a follow-up question, which is the exact one I teased about earlier. Do we plan to bring deep diving into red? We cannot comment on that.
Not in red. Not in the time of the red. Yeah. You mean deep diving is black ball? It's
to me. I've always used it as a narrative.
We like to make content. We like to make content for all characters whenever we can. It's a fair question. Cheekily official push right now is we are working on things that you guys are really gonna like that involve that, but not in the way you might be thinking about it. Don't worry, we are going to work every day. Except the weekend, and except when we're off for a week, if Jay Gray is still here.
We just got some clarification why Cemetery asked about the Hades. Hades wanted to put, Cemetery wanted to put it in their pop-up, and Jesse
I figured this was the, does this mean I can put it in a pop-up?
It gets better. Jessiper from Saves Me Death, they were going to put it in the Gun Friend.
Oh, good.
That's
a shotgun.
terrifying.
That's great.
That's terrifying.
You know what's fun? Getting a normal shotgun and just putting 2 underbarrel shotguns on it. Because that's something you can do without any of this.
A bootleg Tommyknocker.
No, it's better than the Tommyknocker, actually.
It's the triple threat.
It's far superior.
It's the triple threat.
It's the triple threat. The triple barrel.
Oh god, that's a new item.
Suppose we had 2 different Netrunners jacked into a architecture and fighting some. Oh, we just answered.
We just answered that one. That was from Maya.
Okay.
The next one's from Meme Jesus. I don't know if I can bring that one up on YouTube. Don't read it out loud.
Have we ever heard of that? No, we've never heard of that. And you need Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I actually saw this person talking about this in chat. Apparently, this situation did happen in their game, and good. This is my view of it.
It happened to them, and not to us.
It's that's one of if you want to know the reason why I'm not bringing this one up. Yeah,
we can move on.
We can move on.
We are allowed to move on.
It's like
moving on. I need to take bio. I will be back in 5.
All right, go take 5. We've been at this for an hour, so you can take a second, and I'll look through and I'll talk to chat here.
Yeah, keep him busy.
Yeah, can you get that big thing off of the? No, someone's gonna clip that out of context. Yeah, move that cursor off the screen, please. All right, Tilko, I see you. Hey, Rob, about the Hades, we have a quote from me saying the Hades is one-handed in January. So that's the thing about when it comes to mayor's desks. It's James's show. It's completely fine for us to disagree on rulings. And the reason why I said it was one-handed, and this is how we're going to move on, and this is why I say it comes down to your GM in the end, is I went off the initial picture of it, where you can actually see Mouse holding it with one hand. But for balance reasons, it's not. Unless, this is one of those things that it depends on your table. For me, I'm a very narrative-focused GM, so a lot of my stuff is, use it until it breaks something. But when people are here looking for exact questions about mechanics, balance, and things like that, that's James's network. James balances stuff out, and he keeps people like me, who tend to really go off the rails and have fun with things, keeps us in check a bit. Keeps us in check. So hopefully that answers why. But yeah, that was what I was going to bring up, because I remember talking about the Hades. Both me and Jay were talking about it back then. What else we got going on here in chat? If y'all are wondering why we've not been responding to chat too much, it's not because we hate you. It's just because there is so many questions. And for anybody who's wanting to put questions in for following Mayor's Desks, go to our Discord, which is just discord.gg/rtalsoriangames. That's it. There's a channel there. You can throw your questions in, and it's currently on a slow mode. I wish I had it on a much slower slow mode, but that thing's already massive. But typically we'll get questions that we can't answer or ones that we've known we've answered before. So feel free to ask what you want. And there it is. Jay Gray himself says the Hades listing at the back of Black Chrome is an error. It is two-handed, as James says. So can confirm from the lead of the Cyberpunk line means I'm wrong too. And there is nothing wrong with being a little wrong. Abigor actually just put it very well there. Holding a weapon with one hand doesn't mean that you also shoot it with one hand. You can hold an AR with one hand, but then grip it with both before shooting. Very true. I was messing around with certain things and trying to not wind up on a list. Yeah, very true. Even small guns you will wind up holding with two hands just to try and balance it out. If you're trying to just do this, general recoil of a big gun, you're going to break your nose, break your arm, or you're going to just end up accidentally hitting somebody. James, can you hear me? James? Hello? Tap the top. There you go.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah, here's a tip.
Hello?
You can just tap the top of that. Watch what happens.
Oh.
Yeah, it very much. That's why you always see Cody tapping his on top of a thing. I make the team all get the same mics because I'm just a little bit, picky. But yeah.
It works.
It works. So Jay actually came in and confirmed the Hades is a two-handed. There's an error in the back. It is absolutely two-handed.
No, it's two-handed. It's absolutely a two-handed. In the picture, it's two-handed. In the description, it's two-handed.
I made the error of calling it a one-handed back in January. Somebody called me out on it. I was wrong. Oh no.
So wrong.
Let's see here. All right, so you ready for more? Okay, so how long do you want to go with this? I intentionally put this at 1 hour, but we can keep going until you wanna.
Let's figure this out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, because we have. Oh God, yeah, we're not gonna hit all those today. Let's do a few more. Let's do a few more.
Well, why don't we scroll down through them and get to some of the ones that are like, pick some out. Let's pick some out.
Okay. Well, honestly, the next one's a pretty good one, and it's a big question, and this has some number crunching. You ready? So, Raccoon, is the system multiplicative or additive when it comes to stacking bonuses? For example, enhanced antibodies and a cryo tank. Would they stack? And if so, would they stack multiplicative? I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm too country for that mess.
Multiplicatively.
Do they? Okay, thank you.
Or additively.
Do they Are they multiplied or add? I'm showing my low IQ over here. For example, if you have a body 12, enhanced antibodies, and stay in a cryo tank for a time being, would you heal 36 or 48? 12 plus 12 plus 12, or 12 times 2 times 2?
So I believe there's twice the rate. With this one, it's what the text says is your answer. If it says times faster, like 4 times faster, then that is multiplicative.
Okay.
If it says you heal as if you had a higher body, then it's what that is. Basically, it's the text. Do the text. It's a bad answer, I know, but pretty sure the text is multiplicative, and so it's multiplicative.
Right now, I am scrolling down to see. This is a simple one. This will give you some meat to talk on whenever I'm going through these next ones. This is from Lojack. Looking for a definitive ruling on cover. Can someone make a ranged attack while in cover? Does doing so require movement, particularly in the case of crouching behind something? I'll let you...
So, when you make a ranged attack, the barrel of your gun has to be in line with your target. Implicitly, as to that, is that they can see you. Therefore, it is impossible to make a ranged attack while entirely behind cover. You have to pop out. And when you do that, when you pop out of cover, anyone holding their action to shoot you gets to do so before you make your shot, by the way, because you pop out and shoot.
Yeah, because it's a reason why we don't have like half cover and 3/4 cover. It's get in line of sight, shoot, then get out of line of sight.
If you don't want to be in cover while throwing something, you can throw a grenade. Another thing that grenades are good at. I know they're really good, but they are a grenade.
I've got one for you. This is actually a pretty decent question, and it's tech focused. You ready? From
Exciting.
Fish of 5, does a negative modifier? I need more coffee. Does a negative modifier being removed count as the odds improving for the purpose of trying again? For example, say a techie wants to fabricate an assault rifle while seriously wounded. They fail the roll, but they heal past seriously wounded during the next week, and therefore no longer suffer the -2 penalty. Would they be able to repeat the skill check?
Yes, and you roll on it when you're halfway through. So you're... Yes. If you give them the negative modifier for being in that wounded state, then and they don't have it later, then they have a higher chance. That's a deserved reroll. Now here's the thing. If they are, how did they get into that seriously wounded state? There's your answer. If they're seriously wounding themselves in order to potentially get a chance at another thing, I would just flat out say no, fuck you. Sorry, YouTube. No,
we're fine. We're not monetized with this, so we're good. The algorithm will hate us for hating us. Bouncing back, the previous question.
Basically, don't self-injure in order to try to get more. That's the GM.
That's a dirty move right there. Okay, now I catch it. Your GM should smack you for trying that. This isn't good.
Your GM. You asked.
that's a jerk move. All right.
The rules are definitely not designed around you intentionally self-injuring yourself to get around the try around again rules. That is not, and there's no way I could write that rule without it like wasting book space in a way that nobody wants. So some hammers have to be handed to the GM and not me.
Bouncing back to the shooting from behind cover thing, I think they just clarified in chat. But they need a readied action to shoot is the underlying question. If they don't have a readied action, can you pop in and out from behind the wall? I would say, yeah. But you have to pop out one space and pop back in, not lean and shoot, and just constantly stay in cover.
You're good. If you're in cover and you can pop out, like under a low wall, you're allowed to be in different body states, right? Like you're allowed to be crouching. I think you're fine. You're good. It doesn't require any movement to do this. In red, movement is only movement across spaces. Yeah, you're good. I mean, you just say here, this is what I'm doing, GM, and you do it, and then you crouch back down behind cover. If they don't have a ready action to shoot you, they don't get to shoot you. That's actually rather realistic. You kind of don't have time to react to someone that you aren't planning to react to in a situation where they pop out behind a thing and then pop back down.
Right now, scrolling down to see if I can find an interesting one. There's a secondary question that Fish of 5 had. You up for it? This one, though, I think kind of answers itself.
Sure. Berserk Implant?
Berserk Implant, the CEMK. Does it prevent all the effects of seriously and mortally wounded? That being the stacking death penalty, hits being turned to critical injuries, and the penalties to skill checks and move. If all the above, was the synergy with linear
frames.
Thank you. Intended. I think it's yeah, I'll let you answer. Sorry.
It's the text. It's the text as it is. The synergy of being a big guy and also being hard to take down. I mean, those go hand in hand. It says specifically penalties does not mean effects. So there's a penalty is a minus to something. A bonus is a plus to something. An effect is something that is not either of those things.
You like the description?
Go ahead and read the text.
Yeah. It's this implant introduces a powerful adrenaline rush on command. When activated as an action, the user ignores the effects of the seriously and mortally wounded states for 60 seconds. 20 rounds with one exception. Mortally wounded characters must still make death saves. After the activation period expires, the implant cannot be activated again for 1 hour.
All right. So it said effects. The effects. That's all of the effects, which includes the penalties. That's a penalty is an effect, but yes. So it does what it says. I think maybe we just need to reread that section.
It's another issue of not to say issue. It's another thing about the fact that the mission kit is a jumpstart kit session. There's a lot to it still. It's made to run the jacket. You will have to make calls as GMs to keep things balanced.
Yeah, the guide in the back about using it in your red game kind of acknowledges this. Anyway, yeah, I think that answers it. The synergy being intended, I think, is the real question here. Synergy is, yes, if you were to have a linear frame and this thing, it's pretty good.
Ooh, I got an interesting one here, Neuroport related. You ready? From Mew.
Sure.
If you're jacking into multiple Neuroports and do net combat in them, can you res a program you have... Okay, forgive me here. The way it was wrote is going to throw me off here. Can you res a program you have in both net arches at the same time, or do you have to pick which one you res it in and cannot have the same program res in the other net arches?
Okay, so if you're using a program one place, it makes sense that you can't load multiple copies. The answer is, this question is here and not obvious because there is no program stuff in the CEMK, but it includes the Neuroport stuff because we wanted to focus the Netrunner on Quickhacking. So the answer here is there is no rule for this yet, technically. However, if you can res programs are designed to be only resed one instance at a time. That's why you buy multiples and use them. So anyway, yes, you would need 2 snakes in order to put a snake in 2 net arcs at the same time.
Because it's still you using your Cyberdeck. You're still using your own Cyberdeck.
Be in multiple net arcs, which you're not.
So, right. How many more are you feeling?
Right now, until we get into 77, and then you can be in multiple people's heads. When is the live stream again? Is the question after that?
That was Frank. Yeah. Right now. Don't worry. These questions were sent this morning, almost 6 hours ago, for the record. So yeah, we're looking back in time. That stupid arrow again. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. Let's see. Let's skip ahead of it. I'm just going to let it go ahead because, wow, someone wrote a novel. 8 questions from a single person.
So
FBCs.
Maybe we can take some questions from the YouTube chat.
All right.
Because the questions, they kind of are they're kind of getting shafted, right?
I apologize to them, kinda. No, there's been a couple, and I'll go back through. We have had a few folks clarify a few things as well.
Put on you, YouTube chat.
So let's see here. I'm actually going to go back through the chat and take a look. We'll do that, and we'll save a few of the other questions for later on down the way. It comes to the Discord. We're now going to do the actual.
Sounds good. We'll always have extra questions that we can't answer just because, you know why, guys.
I got one here from.
There's so much.
I got one here from Marshall. In your opinion, what are some of the best ways to demonstrate the gap in how beneficial having cyberware is versus not having it to players whose characters are intentionally cyberware averse?
Okay, so if your character is intentionally cyberware averse, then they have their own reasons, right? And I think those reasons that they have are more powerful than you're talking about as a GM, showing them the difference. I think having characters with cool cyberware do cool things is your answer there. I would say not doing that as an ally, because then you get into the GM PC problem. I would say having cool enemies with cool cyberware is I mean, that's just good practice in general. They do that a couple of times, 2 times, and then drop it for a while, because also you don't want to make your whole game about this one thing, because you got other players, so then there's just one player, right? But I would be at the same time, maybe there's a focus problem, in that I wouldn't treat the character differently. I would just have the rules be the same as they are for anyone, and then maybe focus on the characters' backstory, do life path, make sure you've done life path for everybody. This is really a holistic question of how do I properly make this part of the narrative, because the character is obviously asking for this to be part of the narrative, but you don't want it to take over your narrative either. It's the whole group's game. That's hard. That's a hard question that sounds easy initially, I guess.
That's why I set you up with it. I'm like, I knew that was going to be a thinker. All right. I got one here from Mason Nash. This is going to be a mission kit question, but it's a good one. This doesn't have any weirdness to it when it comes to
release.
Yeah, it's not going to be too niche. How does the ricochet shot penalty, -4 of power weapons, interact with the penalty for not being able to see a target that is behind cover?
Okay. So the not being able to see a target, if you can't. So that penalty in particular, in EMK is different. If you can ricochet to hit a target around cover, then you know where they are. So you're aware of them, so you can shoot them. If you're allowed to shoot them, then you just have the ricochet penalty, basically. We don't want to get into a situation where the difference is, I can see him through the bulletproof glass pane, and thus this is slightly different than around this corner and that corner. You just want to just have them roll the ricochet penalty. That's the short version. You don't want to get into stacking penalties question. They're already taking a large minus. Try to do this. It's a feature of their weapon.
Yeah, because you don't want to wind up with a -8 then a -4.
What if I wanted to bounce off of more than 2 surfaces? Would that change it?
Cool.
It would be cool. Rule of cool, right? But then also, that's kind of difficult thing you're asking for. Maybe it's a -2. That's where you want to get people the chance to do cool stuff. You don't want to just penalize them for using normal features of their weapon. All of the, if it isn't obvious, a lot of these designs are about defeating things that people run into a lot, like armor or cover. So they should be allowed to be cool in those areas.
I've already got another one lined up that's actually a pretty good little question, too. It's also in line with
roll it
weapons.
up from the YouTube.
Yeah. So from Demi.
We should probably split the questions in these things from YouTube and from Discord. Discord can get us started, but then once YouTube starts asking,
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that because it gives people in the chat time to ask and think and inquire, and people can prep. So what we'll most likely do from here on out is Discord at first, and then YouTube next. We're gonna do that. This one here's from Demi.
Probably we're just doing a long one this time because we're having so much fun. And
you're happy to be doing this again. I could tell. We've been plotting this for a month.
I haven't gotten to do this in a long time since John stuff. Y'all know. But I'm happy to be back talking to y'all. Good to have an outlet.
Yeah, I want to take this back. This has been longer than a month. We've been planning this before Gamma.
We've been just trying to get it working, and I've been working on, But also fossilized violence. Well, wow, does anyone have a question about fossilized violence?
I felt my face drop. I was like, you better not say a thing about that thing.
Well, it's important to work on,
Yeah, that thing. And it's been interesting, getting involved with that. From Demi, can a smart gun link be used in a pop-up weapon? Smart gun links require an interface plug or a subdermal grip.
Yes.
Yeah. Go to town.
Yeah.
I think they're curious about how they'll connect to a smart gun.
There is 2020 art of a smart gun link coming up, and there being wires through the thing connecting to it. They go into a lot of detail about the ways you can connect things up in 2020. In Red, we just say you can.
And no reason to get caught on the super, super deep detail when, you don't want to slow play down. That's always the thing.
Well, you wanna just be, if you want it to be like and then I plug my wrist one into the gun, and it's like a cool secondary thing you have to do to get it going. That's great. It doesn't cost an action. Have fun. If you want it to be, and it's already in line and it's already pre-built and it looks so streamlined, then that's a whole different kind of sci-fi. And both of those sci-fis are cyberpunk. They're kind of just like Cyberpunk, but the difference is how much money is in your bank account.
It comes down to the moolah. This one, though...
But when it gets to like my arm is an arm cannon, then you're Samus, and that's not Cyberpunk anymore. That's spacey.
Record, we do kind of have a Samus Mega Man arm. We do have one of those.
That's okay, but our one is cooler.
Yeah, ours is cooler. Lightning.
The lightning arm is a little bit cooler, I would say. Also, I believe that it's technically also in Samus. If you go to the DS game, the Bounty Hunter one that was a really good game. If anyone hasn't played that is a really good game.
I got one here that would normally be about money, but in this case, it's some Nomad question. Ready for a Nomad question?
I love Nomad questions.
All right, then.
Nomad question.
Gabriel Pacquiao asks about the garage rules. When you rearrange your Nomad ranks, does it have to be in order? As in, can I use rank 1 upgrades on a rank 9 vehicle?
Yeah. That's fine. It doesn't have to be in order. When you're rearranging stuff with the garage, you get to sort of rejigger your stuff. No. Wait a minute. Yeah.
I love ones that get you kind of going, huh? Yeah, no, what?
No, you have to do it in order. It doesn't it say you have to do it in order too? What's with this asking? I swear, if we look up this text and they're trying
to get around a GM one way or another. I bet you. Hold on.
There's a sentence right after your sentence that says exactly how it goes.
We find Moto.
He's gonna look this up.
Y'all really need to understand. I got a library here because I got tired of making wrong calls. Okay. Y'all don't understand the paranoia of coming in, not designing the game, but knowing the game like a library. I'm teasing right now, by the way. I'm teasing. All right,
he's teasing. He's not gonna come get you. I might do this.
Fight you. All right.
This.
Went to the wrong page.
He's looking right now.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Let me be. I will throw something at you, and you know I will. Here it is.
I'm not talking to you.
Wait, who? What?
I'm talking to Gabriel.
Oh. All right, so me, Solo, yeah, I'm going away from Operator. Moto, here we go. So, direct text is, being part of a Nomad family means spending your life in the driver's seat and under the hood, improvising your driving abilities and vehicle knowledge enough to get by on a familiarity alone or with training to pull off impressive.
We need the garage rules. Sorry.
I'm coming.
Garage rules are part of the headquarters system. The headquarters system is in the is in the
No
new
Place Like
adventure
Home.
book.
Yeah, No Place Like Home. Oh, it's right. It
No
is.
Place Like Home. I'll be back.
I'm on it. I'm on it. People making me look up stuff. So yeah, one of my greatest things I'm paranoid about is just getting things, incorrect, but everybody makes mistakes. But I have quite literally made a library here in the past, month and a half. So when I say I can pull anything out of my ass, I mean it. So these are hacking agents, so I'm right now where I need to be. Vehicle chases. Roller derby. Where is our headquarter rules? There it is. Okay. Studio. Garage. I'm not that blind. There it is. The garage comes with a... Oop. Oh, my mic. That's rare. The garage comes with a compact ground car that is owned by the crew. The car can be improved by purchasing and installing vehicle upgrades, but cannot be sold. Benefit cannot benefit from a moto's reliability. Oh, you are back. I was waiting for you to be back. Okay. So, if the car is destroyed beyond repair, this improvement and the upgrade is lost. Any HQIP spent on it is not refunded, and the improvement must be purchased again to obtain a new vehicle. When the garage is upgraded, here we go. When the garage is upgraded, Nomads gain an additional benefit. Assuming all of a Nomad's vehicles are at full HP and in working condition, they can spend 1 week of downtime to respec the choices they made with their Motorola ability to date, swapping out vehicle upgrades or even entire vehicles as desired.
Yeah, you respec. That means you go through. So, this is my fault. I'm sorry for using a video game word, respec. I should have said in order. I said in order, but I said respec in order, right?
Mm-hmm. You specialize.
So that's a me screw up. That sentence should be clear. You are meant to make your choices from 1 to 9, 1 to 10 in that order. The good news is that's plenty powerful. The bad news is that sentence could be a little clearer.
It's fine. It gets the point across.
My bad.
Let's see. Right now, digging through to see what we can find. Still on YouTube questions. I'm not even down to where people started asking even more. Y'all started to hit us with questions. How did I skip ahead? Oh, okay.
Get to the YouTube questions.
Well, I'm going through them.
Want that?
We'll throw a coffee mug at your head. Oh, here we go. From Frederick Lemons. 1. How would you handle stealth rolls for an FBC PC with a camo coating that is actively on? Are there cases where the stealth roll replaces the 17 perception, or other ways you'd adjudicate?
You with that again?
Man, those some hard words to say in there. I'm only a simple countryman.
Yeah. Those are some big words. Can you say those big words again?
Okay. I hate you.
You can go slow if you need to.
I hate you so much. How would you handle stealth rolls for an FBC PC with camo coating that is actively on? Are there cases where the stealth roll replaces the 17 perception, or other ways you'd adjudicate?
If you can get a better stealth roll than the coating, this is the camouflage.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the spider.
Oh gosh. That's a really hard question. The camouflage coating is a very big block of text.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Are we doing this? You sure you want to go through that?
I'll give it a shot.
You might have to just... Okay, we're going for it.
All right. So, may only be installed in a full body conversion when the user remains still for 1 minute 20 rounds. They can activate a cloak that hides from all visual senses, including low light, infrared, UV, unless the perceiver succeeds at a DV-17 perception check. And the rest. So when it comes to that, it's the person looking for him has to beat that DV. So
yeah. So the question is, if I'm sneaky, you can't tell where I am, and then you can't see me. So I think the option here is if they have that coating on, they also can't move, right?
Yeah, they cannot move. Actually, they if they move further than 2 meters or 1 square within 3 seconds, so they can only move 1 square around.
They can get sneaky deaky. I think you got to roll twice. I think you got to roll you got to roll to find him, and then you got to roll to see him. You do have to roll to do in that order, because if you're not looking in the right places, they're not going to find you. But also, they kind of need to be aware they're even supposed to be looking for things that aren't there.
Yeah,
right?
You're
and
more
at that
forgiving
point,
than me.
I think you get a bonus. If you know there's an invisible man running around the room or crawling around the room, if you know there's an invisible man crawling around, then you should be getting a bonus.
I will be, I'll be honest with you, you're more forgiving than me
sneaky.
on that.
It's sneaky. Hey, I gave the one instance in which I wouldn't be like, what the hell are you doing rolling random perception checks? If somebody says I'm on Overwatch and I'm looking out, I would give it to them. But if they're like not doing that, I might do it behind the screen. This is a really hard check to make. And if they're actively trying to be stealthy with this thing, I think it's 2 rolls. I think it's 2 rolls.
Cemetery makes a good point. Sight is only one part of perception, so the DV-17 could be hearing someone walking around, and then you have the opportunity to roll against their stealth. That's a fair point. But yeah, I'm with you on that, James. I initially was going to be mean about it and say, oh, it's like bullet dodging. You can try.
Oh, don't be mean about it.
I was going to be mean, just to be a jerk.
The tech is already high to show that it's difficult. You don't have to go like, you also don't have the tools for seeing an invisible person because your eyes aren't meant to see things that aren't able to be seen.
How did you know a super stealthy 4-armed ninja was on your ceiling? Huh? How did you know about it beforehand?
Modifiers are a tool. They're not a like when everything looks like a nail hammer situation. They're used to make specific circumstances different than normal, not to make normal circumstances make sense.
Right now, going through here, let's see. Oh, another Nomad question from Marshall. For a Nomad that has the housing upgrade, how much of a stickler should I be as the GM be about where did you park / other potential consequences to balance out the no rent thing? It's a fun one.
So as long as the player isn't like parking in stupid places, like, oh, I'll stay in this lot overnight. If they're keeping to the outskirts, if they're parking with their pack, you should not be a dick. If they're parking like in an inner city, maybe you get to have some sort of going on there, but I think that GM should definitely be allowed to do the like your home is being robbed stories. That's cool, but I do think that there's too much of it happening. I think that we gotta save those. Those are aces. You gotta play them at different times, and importantly, you should be playing them randomly, as random story hits, not as a karmic justice thing. When they do a bad thing happens to them. But if James... anyone, I think that when people, so if you've ever had your car burgled, you know that it happens. Just always, it happens at the worst time. It can never happen at a good time, ever. It can never happen at an opportune time, either. Although the incredible silliness of you go back to your house at the end of a job and someone's trying to rob it, and you're holding like a big bag of money from a bank that you just stole is really silly and funny. That's not a bread and butter action movie scene. That's like an action comedy scene. Like that one Bullet Train, like that movie Bullet Train.
Still not
It's
seen
like
it.
you're doing the movie Bullet Train instead of doing the movie Pulp Fiction. Right?
Some
Actually,
Lethal
no.
Weapon action.
Pulp Fiction is silly. Pulp Fiction is silly in points.
Lethal Weapon.
Not a Tarantino. Something less silly.
Lethal Weapon. Say for the 50th time.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah. The Raid.
Rush Hour.
You want to be doing The Raid, right? And you're doing No Country. No, that's even more serious. I need to watch some movies this weekend. Apparently, guys, my like.
I got
Overton
Nosferatu
window.
lined up for me.
My movie Overton window is slipping.
I got Nosferatu lined up for myself this weekend. It's been sitting like rented for a week.
Exciting.
I want to see it. I want to see how Bill Skarsgård did.
I watched the first episode of Bondsman. And it feels like a comic book. It feels like just like a comic book movie that feels like a comic book. I'm pretty sure it's not a comic book, but it does feel like a comic book. I don't know yet. And I know I'm saying something that could be demonstrably wrong and also proven with a Google search on the internet.
Careful. Don't you know that people only exist on YouTube to correct us?
I welcome your correction.
They're going to love us this time. We're a wonderful mess. And don't forget, Jamie, like we're talking about, people breaking into the Nomad cars. Don't you know the only way to make money in the time of the red is by just constantly stealing cars with no consequence?
Constantly stealing cars. That's great. Constantly stealing cars. Love that. Try it. Try it at my table. Try it at my table. See what happens.
Try it.
Try it at my table. You're going to make some Nomad friends. I'm going to tell you, you're making Nomad friends right after that.
Uh-huh.
And then I get to bring in all of the gangs from Little Europe. That's great. They have nice cars too that you'd want to steal.
Mm-hmm. It'd be worse than the scene from Edgerunners.
Try.
Got one from Corgi, and we're now at an hour 30. So I think we're only going to do 2 more. Okay, 2 more.
2 more is good. Let's do 2 more. Let's make them real good ones.
Well, this is a quick one from Corgi. I think you can answer this fast. Do Netrunners?
Well, then it doesn't count to the 2.
All right, it doesn't count for the 2. After this, we'll do 2. So from Corgi, do Netrunners automatically know when others jack into a net architecture? And would cloaking / pathfinding need to be done each turn to hide from or find each other?
Oh no, you definitely know. You definitely know. If you're in the net architecture and somebody jacks in, they see you. But when you jack in, you don't have vision into the net arc unless you walk there. And if you're walking in the same room that another netrunner is in, there's currently nothing that lets you be stealthed from them. So it's like you guys are in the same Google Meet call. You know they're there. You go, hey. So one real easy thing to do is just to walk down a net architecture when you jack in, and or do a Pathfinder check if you're a smart person. And once you do that Pathfinder check, if it reveals a room that the other netrunner is currently in, you see him.
So, I'm right now looking down just to kind of see what we got.
A good question, by the way.
So here's one that I know got brought up because the Copernicus. I have Azrael here asking, I'd love to run some gigs in a space setting like 2020's Deep Space Book in red. What sort of debuffs would you give for zero-G combat? A pretty fun question.
That's hard. If you're doing zero-G combat with weapons that are not designed to do zero-G combat, then probably giving everyone access to bullet dodging is a good call. At a penalty, maybe. I don't know. Zero-G combat is a really cool idea, and making it feel a little bit different is probably a good idea. If you guys are in spacesuits and whatnot that have those little pressure jets that make zero-G very, very doable, then I would not change rules much. What if everybody is then everyone can dodge everything, right?
I would say if they're in clunky spacesuits,
an opportunity to
give them the same penalties as medium armor, unless or even medium or heavy armor, And then unless they have like 0G boosters, like the the Copernicus, then give them normal move. Do the penalty then. Just have it as another item that they can buy. Yeah.
Leave the 0G boosters just give you access to the movement? I don't remember what they do.
They're purely narrative, I believe, right now for the Copernicus. Don't make me open that book again.
Good.
I will open that book again. Don't make me.
I won't.
Okay.
Let's don't do it. Let's not do it. Needless to say, the Copernicus should not be devalued in that situation. That's literally what it's for. And when Rob said clunky spacesuit, he meant old tech spacesuit.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a new spacesuit, a good spacesuit, you should probably have the same things that Copernicus has.
I'd agree on that. Yeah. Give it a good, like, what would you say? Super luxury? Luxury?
And the rule for important, the other thing to note is that near asphyxiation rules in the core rule book, there are rules for being in the vacuum of space. That is the other place where space stuff is mentioned, and with those combined, you probably also want to get Deep Space from 2020 and then get some narrative and world lore from there and bring it forward. I think that's your way to do it. I think that's the answer, Rob. Short of us just having a brainstorm sesh on how to play in space.
Don't say that. You're gonna summon everyone asking for High Rider stuff. Do not ever do that again.
No.
Please don't do that to me.
All right.
Do not do that.
Well, I mean, you have that at your own whiteboard. I have to work on the thing.
We're not gonna talk about what's on my whiteboard. So let's see here. I'm gonna give Corgi another question for this. This is not gonna count. This is an interesting one too. Does that mean Pathfinder reveals generally what's in each floor you can see from its check, such as if a Netrunner or Black Ice is in them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Pathfinder
reveals whatever is on that floor. Pathfinder, there's no stealth in the net. If you reveal a floor, you know there's a Black Ice on it.
Guys, quit pissing off Nightbot.
The only time you don't know what's coming up is if you don't roll Pathfinder. And now because plenty of people are like, let's just do it blind. Let's just run down the net blind. That's gotta be, there's gotta be a downside to that. If somebody does their Pathfinder check and they roll high, you should be able to see probably the whole thing. Of course, there are rules on Pathfinder about where it stops. Read the actual rule and follow the actual rule. And especially in Netrunning, the letter of the law is good game design and is fun on table. There was a lot of playtesting on that.
Are you ready for a Medtech question?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Maya strikes again. Does Medtech cover Medtech Gear? Oh, does Medical Tech cover Medtech Gear like cryopumps for the purposes of maker or repairs? If they aren't Medical Tech, are they Basic Tech?
No, they're Medical Tech. If you wanna do stuff using the tech skill, the tech roll ability that does stuff to medical technologies, you have to be multi-class. And the people that do that are multi-class. Like the in-world people making those machines are technically multi-classed.
Yeah, let's see.
That is one of those examples where yes, that is what a multi-class is for. Hey, I'm a tech because I make stuff, but I also make stuff that are about medtech stuff. So I guess I'm a medtech, and everybody goes, yeah, that makes total sense.
I'm gonna go digging for the final question. I'm gonna pull it from Discord. I'll find a complex one from Discord. Where's one that's gonna make you have a headache?
People. Why are you pulling a bat? One that's gonna make me have a headache?
Because it's funny for me, and I get to get some payback because of you using that dumb thing. Okay.
Look at this thing.
I hate it.
To edit around this,
It triggers me so much. It drives me so crazy. I hate you. Oh God. I don't know if I want to ask you that one. Some ones around flight. We'll get to.
Hey, feel free to ask a question about fossilized violence. Anybody? While he's looking, this is a great time to mention again, especially because now we've got YouTube stream people there. If you want to keep track of me and maybe get some free games, that I make on my own time at my company, James Hutt Games. You can go to jameshuttgames.com and put in your email. You should do that.
Mm-hmm. And if you ever want to insert questions for future Mayor's Desks, go to discord.gg/rtalsoriangames. You will see the channel. Ask your question. We will get to it eventually. There's a lot here.
Eventually, we will try.
Oh, okay. This is actually a fun question. Mission kit related. It's one of 4.
Okay.
But we're gonna do this one because this is interesting. From Wookie Chris, love the name. Anything Wookie, love the Wookie. What about the Wookiees? Are tech charged weapons intended to ignore human shields?
I know where they got that. One more time. Tech what?
Are tech charged weapons intended to ignore human shields? In other words, if you use a tech weapon, do you punch through somebody all the way?
I mean, Rule of Cool says yes. You'll notice that those are not designed to go together due to this being a CEMK rule. I don't think Human Shield is in CEMK, and that's why they're not designed to work together. That sounds pretty cool. Let's go for it. I would allow it on my table.
I'd make a suggestion. Unless it's cool, don't insta-kill when it comes to someone being held.
No. Yeah, never insta-kill. Never insta-kill. Unless it's cool and it's only that one time. If this is something they're planning on doing every turn, and no, when are you really going to want to shoot through a human shield, though, really?
I would think
you're a bad man.
I would think it would go through the human shield and through the person holding the human shield. You would basically get Raditz and Goku'd. Piccolo style. Special beam cannon?
I don't know.
Oh my god, first episodes of Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna sit you down and watch this stuff.
I watched the original Dragon Ball a lot. I did not watch into Z. At that point, I had other...
Spoiler alert.
I was watching Naruto at that point. Speaking of which, shout out to Shadow Scar.
I forgot I'm almost 10 years older than you.
Big fan about Shadow Scar coming out. Shadow Scar's coming out. It's gonna be awesome.
They don't even know what's cooking.
Shadow Scar's amazing. Shadow Scar's amazing. It's gonna be the best game about playing a ninja. Like the next best game on the market about playing a ninja isn't even close to Shadow Scar. Shadow Scar is like the premier ninja experience on tabletop.
We'll share with them this. DLC for Shadow Scar is about to start coming out. Like, it's prepped. We're just getting into the release schedule of it. So there is actually about to be straight up a lot of DLC coming out for Shadow Scar. Cody himself writing pretty much all of it. That man don't sleep. That man does not sleep. So yeah, y'all got some more content coming out for Shadow Scar very soon. Not just the core book. There's more. There's more. Y'all will see soon.
We won't tell you what it is, but it's coming.
I'll put it this way: a lot of my personal stuff has been put to the side to make sure what's coming from Shadow Scar will happen as best as it can. Trust me on that. All right.
No. Well, I think we should call this Mayor's Desk.
One more.
We should adjourn this Mayor's Deck. I'm adjourning.
One more.
One more.
This is great. This is great.
The last one. Buzz Lightyear.
From Almighty Brushwag. Can I put Captain Cuttlefish as a pop-up weapon?
Yes.
That's so cool.
It's one-handed, right?
I do believe it is.
It's a ranged weapon. That means yes.
I'm gonna go look. That's
so
great.
If it's two-handed, then you can do a tech upgrade, and then you can do it.
Yeah, you just you have the cutest scorpion get over here ever.
Yeah, it is basically a grappling hook at that point, and I love that. I think that's awesome.
That's just fun design.
Shout out to Captain Cuttlefish. We love putting fake television shows in Cyberpunk.
But those
I'd love to see more lore for fake television in Cyberpunk. I have several anime that get Hello Kitty guns that aren't Hello Kitty. Feel free to look at them and just imagine what if they were real.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and start wrapping things up here again. Just make sure I type this in right, because every time I start typing, it does weird. That right there is the direct link to our Discord and jameshuttgames.com.
That's right, jameshuttgames.com. Put in that email. We'll put you in for the newsletters for James Hutt Games, and then in those newsletters is usually a link to the Discord.
All right, and there is also our webpage as well. The main two sources for any news on RTAL is always going to be rtlswearinggames.com and this YouTube channel from here on out. That is how we're doing it. In the days of social media falling apart and rebuilding itself over and over again, we're just going to stick with what's consistent, and that's us and what we can do here. So everybody, I hope you all have a good day. James, anything you want to say? I see you grabbing that mic. What do you want to say?
I'd say that the mayor's desk is adjourned.
It's adjourned. Take care, everybody. Y'all don't work too hard, and we will see y'all soon. I'm going to let music play for a bit.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Take care, y'all.
Let's do this next week.
I'm down. Fridays?
Let's do it. Fridays, 1 hour.
Fridays. All right. Get your questions in. We'll see y'all next Friday. Take care.
Get your questions in. I like the cursor. I need to find a way to... Well, I want it to turn into a dinosaur.